Come on in on this Saturday morning. Come on in. Surprise, surprise. Come on in. Got about enough time for about 30 minutes of chit chat and question and answer. What's going on, KE? Got a little time for some Q&A this morning. What's up, Jack? Jack, you are on here quick. I shipped your stuff out yesterday, Jack. You should be getting it Monday, probably. What's up, Blaze? Y'all working today, man? The rain come through what early Monday, early Friday, early yesterday. Kind of shut everything on down for the week, but we got 4 good days in. We ain't gonna complain about it. What's going on? What's up, E Yob? I ain't heard from you in a minute. E Yob, what's good with you? Come on in, come on in. Got 11 of y'all on so far. Hit the like when you come in on this morning. We just wanted to chop it up with you guys just for a little while. About 30 minutes on this Saturday morning. Before we get into normal Saturday meeting stuff. What's up, Taylor? Um, got tire man out here now, moving some tires around. That's the thing about it. Even when you're off, you're working. I know some of y'all can testify testify to that reality that even when you're off, you're working. So we doing 4 all changes out of the 8 today. We got tire man here right now as I speak. He's out there moving some tires around, mounting some tires I noticed that needed to come on off. I am a guy that do likes to recap my virgin tires, so I try to catch them if I can before they get down too far, and at least be able to take about 3 or 4 to the cap shop. And so we're trying to get that done. The earlier you start on a Saturday, the earlier you can finish. All the trucks they out stormed down yesterday, and they still working us. Cool, that's real good, man. We made Thursday night, but Friday morning everybody counts around this area. At least who I work for. We didn't do anything yesterday, and I was wondering whether somebody was going to try to do something today, but they didn't. And made a few phone calls yesterday, sent out a few texts yesterday evening, just kind of making the rounds on a Friday evening like I normally do. And all of the asphalt companies and stuff like that, they shut down today. Yeah, Taylor, definitely always something to do to maintain. You got to stay ahead. I just told the tire man, I said, yeah, man, come on, move some tires around. I said, because I want to stay ahead of that. I don't want to get behind, on that kind of stuff. You look up, you need, with 8 trucks, you need to change 12 or 13 tires. No, let's go ahead and change these 5 or 6. Look like we got today, upgrade us, and that'll get us in good shape. And took some to the cap shop early in the week. I think I took 3 or 4. So kind of got my little cap rotation coming. Again, I know a lot of people don't really go for the caps, but if they're my versions, I don't mind doing a cap for sure. Jack says, how often do you change transmission fluid in your trucks? I hadn't had to change fluid, I think, but in one truck that I kept long enough, I bought it. It had 100 something. So the rule seems to be 200,000. Or if it alerts you on the alert system in the Allison that, it's time, I'll do it. I haven't had that to happen, but I was at 200,000 on one, so I changed. I think the one of the internationals is approaching 200. So next go round, I'll probably be changing transmission fluid on that one as well. And then, man, I tell y'all something that I was enlightened to at the Western Star dealership the other day. He informed me that there's a backup, and I don't know if you guys have heard this, Blaze. You may have heard this. the 4500 series Allison, there's a backup on that at the Allison plant. The Allison plant got issues. I don't know what it is. A part is something about a part or parts that goes into Allison. So, for the dump truck companies, or should I say for the dealerships that go with the Allison transmission, they're currently in a slowdown mode and a holding mode because there's a backup with Allison transmissions right now. And my salesman told me that at Western Star the other day, and he said he didn't believe it at first until he got a call from Allison letting them know. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Bills, payroll, accounts payable. Yeah, Taylor, that's it, man. That's it. Thank God I got some help that handles the payroll, accounts payables, the payroll and accounts receivables. I kind of still got my hand in the bills and the payables. But yeah, it never ends. It doesn't change the time. Yeah, change the times to make a man out. You got to be you look. You got to be made out of something to sling them tires around because they're not light. Heard there was a backup on frame rails. Was it? I don't know. I hadn't heard that one. I'm about to ask the salesman about that. Frame rails. I hadn't heard that. So that's kind of like what's going on with me. Let me cut this heater down a little bit. It's getting a little warm up here. What's going on with you guys? Anybody got some Q&A this morning? Some things that you might have had some questions about? We can chop it up this morning. See what's good. Hit the like also if you would. So what's good with you guys? Wow. Where's that at, Taylor? What state you're in? Because I know my guy, they of course, I've been showing you guys a plethora of Western Stars they had down there. He told me he got them sold. So the next go round, he told me is supposed to be June of new trucks for his allotment. Now that might have been something that's already in order too, I'm sure. Jack said, "Did your mixer truck company require the driver to change tires back?" No, indeed, Jack. No, no, they had a tire man. If you had a flat, they had a tire man. Actually, with the plant that we worked out of, it was a guy that worked out of that plant, every day. He's a mechanic and tire man. So if you had a flat, he did that, or if you had um, mechanical issue, he did that too. So he kind of did it all. No, we did not change the tire in the mixer plant. Man, look, Jack, 110 degrees in the summertime, no air conditioned trucks, and Joker talking about changing the tire. I wouldn't have been there long. Not for $9.15 an hour I was getting. Okay, you're in St. Louis. Okay, okay. Man, that's something. Yeah, okay, D Landry, they should be, man. I've been we getting news reports about it here and there from over here, and I've heard a little buzz from some guys over here about it. They tell me they're wide open and rolling over there, man. I talked to the vice president actually stays in my parish, and I run across him in town here every now and again, and he told me they were rolling over there. I told you I was a major job, man. If I just wasn't so busy over here, and man, those are the kind you like. Those are the kind that keep you busy on one job alone for like 3 or 4 years. Jack says Thomas Concrete in Cartersville, Georgia has theirs due at $20 per hour. So you got to change your own tire, but they pay them $20 an hour. Man, and I'm sure there's some time taking tire changing that's going on. When Joe got a flat, he be like, okay, I'm gonna milk this. Wow. I do know some companies, I've heard of that. Logging outfits, matter of fact, here locally, some logging outfits require that if you have a flat, you got to change your own tire because everybody else is in the woods. So if you go to the shop, there's nobody in the shop, at the shop, but there's everything you need at the shop in order to change your tire. Clay says, what's your take on driving incentives besides for good driving and performance? My guys are working 10, 12 hours a day, and we're asking about OT. I don't offer OT, but would like to incorporate some. Yeah, well, what I do, Blaze, if I mean 10, 12 hours a day rolling like that, man, typically uh on those great months like that, man, I would definitely just a just because bonus, nothing to do with the driving and performance. You do that as well, but just a just because bonus. Hey, man, appreciate y'all. You know, here you go. So that would be good. Just a just because bonus. I think would be good. That's what I try to do. Business going well. We rolling. I know they've been working hard, long hours, things of that nature. Just because how you got your wife or your girl, and it's not Mother's Day, it's not Valentine's Day, it's not her birthday, it's not Christmas. You do it just because. That's how you do that. Oh, okay. So Jack said, if the flat is found to be before the truck goes out, then they'll change it before they could even go out. I got you. Jack said he told him no, sir. Kept moving. Yeah, look. My license says CDL, not CTC, right? Commercial driver's license, not commercial tire changer. Taylor said they better have a spare tire mounted on that rim and a Milwaukee impact at every truck if they expect them to change the tire. That's it. That's it. What's up, Chris Carey? It's paying 90,000 for a 2000 Mac or Peterbilt too much. Obviously that's pre-emissions, and a lot of people don't want to fool with the pre-emission stuff, right? So the price is up on those pre-emissions for the luxury of not having to deal with the DEF and all of that, right? Um, so let's look at it. It's an '07, which means it's a 17-year-old truck. So let me see. If the truck just on average did 50,000 miles a year, time 17 years, the truck ought to have 850,000 miles just normal running. 850,000 miles. Now, so you look at it like this: paying not, you got 850,000 miles on this truck. My first thing questions would be: have they done top end, bottom end on the engine? Has the engine had anything done to it? That's my first thing. Because at that amount of miles, most of the time the golden rule is at 500, you start either doing top end or bottom end around 500,000. So had they done any work to this truck? Number two, I would want a dyno test, which means drop the oil in the engine, have it sampled by Cummins, Cat, somebody like that, to determine is there anything in mixing in this oil at this point. Shavings, metal shavings, which indicate some kind of breakdown is taking place, antifreeze, water, making sure that if you're going to spend that kind of money to see. All right, you say it has under 500,000. Okay, so it hasn't been run. It's been run under the amount of time that you would guesstimate, right? 500,000 for a 17-year-old truck. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I still would ask those same questions. And then I would want to know why it don't have a 500,000 miles on it. Because, a lot of times we ask the question when we see a lot of miles, but when it don't have miles that it ought to have, we ought to ask that same question. Okay, man, why doesn't it have a 500,000 for a 17-year-old truck? So I'm wanting to check, and then I want to check the general, being a 17-year-old truck, I want to check the general condition of the truck. Has this truck been well maintained, or, one of the things, here's a nugget. Here's a nugget. Thank you, brother. Here's a nugget right here. One of the things I think sometimes can be overlooked in just looking at the major components, because we tend to think of the major components as the main things. And I do too as well. The engine, transmission, rear ends, right? That's big money items. But let me tell you, you can, if a truck I'm not going to even say older truck, I'm just going to say a truck that's not been well maintained. Man, you can spend thousands of dollars that it would take to bring that truck up to being in decent shape. You get to rolling brakes, you get to rolling drums, you get to rolling starters, alternators, batteries, you get to rolling belts, you get to rolling tires. In order for you get to having to doing welding on the bed because it's got bad spots, tarp motors, tarp. There's a lot of other stuff that if a truck is not being well maintained, that you might still could spend $10,000, $15,000 just to bring it where it needs to be, right? So although those three major components are the big money items that you look at, if a truck has not been well maintained in a lot of other areas, it could take 10 or 15 grand just to bring it up to DOT standards. Mhm. 22 years old. I just bought your books. I look to start my own dump truck business. Where should I start? And I am in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. All right, we know some folks out of Virginia that have certainly spoke real well to rail about the quarries, man. There's a lot of guys and girls up there doing well at the quarries. I've heard Vulcan. Those certainly a good place to start. I would probably find out where the Vulcan quarry is at, and also just your limestone yards and quarries in general. I would see where they at. My thing acting like it's got a mind of its own. All right. So those will be some good places to start. And obviously, your asphalt companies. I do know in DC, Maryland, Virginia, in the wintertime, the asphalt companies get a little slow. And sometimes some of them shut down for 2 and 3 months. But right now, asphalt ought to be rolling in that area. So I would check out my asphalt companies and my road construction companies too, rail. That's where I would start. Yeah, Taylor, you can drop that real quick, man. Eyob doing well. Picked up my third one. What? Look out, Eyob. Eyob picked up his third truck. Eyob, let the folks know where you're at, man, again. What state you're in, what city you're in. Eyob been with us from the beginning. What do you think about disc versus drum? I kind of prefer drum. Disc, I've heard people try to say that they're better. Um, I don't know if there's been any test to prove that the failures are greater with drum brakes. I do know you spend a whole lot of money, more money with disc. I am perfectly fine with drum at all. I don't have any problem. Oh yeah, Taylor to my downtime. Okay. Oh yeah. Good questions this morning. Good questions. So this was a real good week. Although cut short by Friday. Um, but they ramped up on me on the trucks at night. And so basically, we ran 8 trucks. We ran all 8 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And because of the rain, I only ran 5 Thursday night on another job. But they are wanting all 8 at night right now. So it's that's kind of action I like to see and hear. And it looks like we're starting off tomorrow night again with all 8 to start the week off at night as well. All right. Eyob is out of Raleigh, Durham, guys. Raleigh, Durham. No, a couple other guys out of there. Raleigh, Durham is definitely a bustling and booming metropolis for what I've seen, heard, and looked at on the map right now. Good, good, good place. Yeah, tell them motor, out of frame, transmission, wheelbase. Exactly. It's a lot of other stuff besides that engine, motor, and engine transmission and rear end that if it's not well maintained, it could cost you a lot of money. Should I try to be company driver first, then go out on my own after I learn the ropes? I think that's a good idea, Terrell. Any, especially young man like yourself, 22 years old, um, when you start out like that, it's always an advantage that if you are in a situation to where you can go and drive for a company for 3 to 6 months. I call it getting paid to learn, right? Because you're working for them, you're getting paid, and then you get a chance to actually learn while getting paid. So yeah, definitely, man. If you got that opportunity to get on a dump truck and drive for somebody 3 to 6 months to learn that way, that is an excellent experience. I always advocate that. Now, One thing you may run into, we hear guys run into this all the time, that because they just got their license or they're young or they don't have dump truck experience, sometimes the companies don't want to try them, give them a try. And so what you may have to do, and it's what I had to do over 24 years ago, is I had to start out on a concrete mixer truck. And concrete mixer companies typically will hire anybody, you know, they will hire anybody. And so you may have to do that just to get that straight truck experience, box truck, school bus, whatever, and then circle back to the dump truck company. What's good? What's good? Hit the like as you guys come in on today. These are good questions. I love these questions. All right, got about 10 more minutes before I have to sign off. What else is good with me? Let me see. So we looking forward to another the rain. I forgot. Blaze, we got more rain coming. Let me see. One of my drivers texted me this morning and say, man, rain looking good for next week on the weather to start the week. Let me go see what this weather forecast has in store. I think it was supposed to be a 60% chance for Wednesday. I mean, for Monday. Let me see. And see, that's a nugget right there. Um, if you're going to succeed in the dump truck business, you got to be an advocate watcher of the weather. All right. So Monday is 80%. Showers and thunderstorms likely. Some storms may be strong and severe, scattered to numerous. So it looks like Monday may give us some problems. Tuesday is 70%. So it looks like it's maybe a rough start to the week. Then after that, it kind of goes down. All right. So let me give us some game on that. It is what it is. We can't control it. Yeah, it goes down Wednesday. Comes back a chance at the end of the week. Okay. So give y'all some game on that. It is what it is. We can't control that. Um, but that's the beauty and why of the night work, right? Because if it does that during the day, if it ain't just doing it at night, we could still work at night. So that's why I love about the night work. Here's the nugget right here. When everything's working, the night work is lanyap. That's old South Louisiana word that means, that's, you can have potatoes, but then if you got gravy on top, if you got, this is a Saturday morning, I'm a country boy from South Louisiana. If we got some homemade biscuits, that's the syrup. You can eat them. You can eat the biscuits like they are, and they are wonderful. But if you got some syrup, some good old, watch this. Let me go deep. Here it is, Blaze Isidore, some cane syrup that's in the can to go with them biscuit. Then that just gravy on top, right? So when you are working day and night, the night work is lanyap. That's all profit. But when something happens with the weather in the daytime and you can work at night, then the lanyard just all it does is just replaces what you otherwise wouldn't have at all. Talk boy. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all see that. I'm gonna say that again. When you're working day and night, the night work is lanyard. That's profit. But when the weather intervenes or you're slow during the day, but you're working at night, the night work becomes the main thing versus otherwise you wouldn't be have zero at all to draw from, right? That's game up on game up. Look, that's worth the price of y'all coming on right there this morning anyway, right there. All right. Let me see with Jack. I see some new T480s out there for sale. New. They got the PX9 and the Allison 3000 tandems with a 14-yard box, cheaper than the T880. Axles are 20,000 per. Okay. Yeah, the specs are good. The 20,000 fronts, 46 rears will be good. You got the Allison in it. PX9, is that a pack car, Jack? And how you feel about the pack car? I get so many mixed reviews about that pack car, man. Just tell me what you think about the engine part. I think the rest of the specs are good. The 480, I put it to you like this. I started off in a T800, right? My first truck, T800 um, um, Kenworth. And later on, I used to see guys with T600s. Not a problem. So, yeah, if the 480 is spec'd right, then it shouldn't be a problem. You just tell me what you think about that that pack car, because especially a lot of guys on this end, heard some guys say they had some bad experiences, and so do your research on that pack car and see how that what people are saying about that. I'm coming on back down to you, Jack. I see you didn't comment. Let me catch some of the other ones. Dreas Campbell, how can I finance a truck with minimal money up front? If it's your first one, Andreas, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be possible, brother. If it's your first truck, um, the commercial lenders don't know you from Adam, right? So typically, you're going to have to come with 10-20% down, unless you're a local bank. If you got a great relationship with your local bank, perhaps they'll do it for you because they know you. But when you get into big commercial lenders, they typically on that first go round want money down. Some of them has wanted as much as 50% down. Love games, see I'm trying to have your work problems. I want to run day and night. Yes, let that be the goal. That needs to be the goal. Where are you running out of love games? That needs to be the goal, man. Taylor say with my biscuits. Yeah, that's right. Jason, put some pepper gravy on that biscuit. Pepper gravy. I ain't never heard of that. I'm about to look into that. Yeah, 9-liter pack car. Okay. Michael Guerrero, how often do you PM service on your dump trucks? We grease Michael every other week, especially in the summertime. And especially with me working day and night, we're gonna grease every other week. Um, the mileage difference with the trucks, right? Say for instance, I got some of these Cummins. Some of these Cummins call for oil change at 18,000, right? I think I was advocating 10 when I first started as a general rule, but some of these newer engines, you don't have to change the oil to 18,000. I got a couple other Cummins, I changed to 15,000, right? So some of these engines are able to run longer before the engine oil breaks down. So with me running day and night, man, honestly, I'm changing oil probably every month and a half. Because think about it, if I'm running day and night like that, what would typically take 3 months to run up that kind of mileage, I'm doing it in about a month and a half. Maybe 2 months at the most. All right, so it kind of varies. What is your engine calling for? And then how often are you running? And that'll kind of give you your interval. After about a year, you'll start to see what your pattern is. Basically a class 7 truck fitted for class 8 work. Yeah, I think Jack, if the specs are right with the fronts and the rears and they seem as though they are, if the frame, I would probably want to know what's the frame difference between the two. Is it another thickness of frame or whatever? I would probably want to know the frame difference. Um and the rear end ratio, do you have the pulling power? Is the pulling power similar? So those are some things I probably would want to know. I want to go to another country. Can you make a video on how to bill customers, how payments would be transferred to a company account? I think it would be crucial for us who want to get into the game. Okay, yeah, I can. Let me write that down. We're gonna probably have to do that on Zoom to kind of show you how I do that. Yeah, not hard at all. I want to go to another university. Not hard at all. Actually, my paperwork bundle, I actually include some templates in there on how I build as well. Jax, I would prefer the covers. Yeah, I would prefer the covers too, Jack. I would prefer you get the covers too, man. If you could, I just love that Cummins, man. I love that Cummins. Andreas, how much you think I'll need up front, or I can put it in an LLC? Well, you need to be an LLC, and if even if you're 2 years out. Oh, so this is the nugget we always give as well. Go ahead and do the LLC now because it looks good if your LLC is 2 years old. New guys, get that. Go ahead and do the LLC now, um, because it looks good if the LLC is 2 years old. All right. Again, typically 20% probably is the norm, but we have seen with some newbies they require 50%. That's why some guys just kind of go with a 70. If they can find a good used truck for 70, 80, 90,000, and if they have to come up with that 50, they got it. 40, 50, they got it. Or, if you're going to do that amount, typically they'll go ahead and just let you do the 20 or something with that amount of money. Love games. Okay, Nashville, Murfreesboro. Okay, okay. All right. All right. Jack, I think it depends on your location in your state. British law depending on the specs. In Illinois, a guy can have a 14,000 rear. Because which one is the most you can have? Okay, cool. Taylor, triaxle doesn't gain a guy much more in capacity. As opposed to what, Taylor? Triaxle as opposed to the tandem, you think? As opposed to what? Jack, yeah, Taylor, we can do 67 on tandems here in Georgia. Yeah, okay, that's what he's saying. Okay, yeah. So y'all can do 67 in Georgia with tandems. We only can do 67 with triaxles here in Louisiana. Okay, it's a double frame. Oh yeah, Jack. Well, if it's a double frame, 20,000 fronts, 46 rears, that's specs to be able to tote the weight for sure and handle the off road. So I don't see any problem. I don't see any problem with those specs. What's up, Richard Gomez? Good morning, Pastor. I have a question. I seen your video the other day speaking about insurance. All right, Richard, your question got cut off. What's your question on that insurance, Richard? Taylor, then I will go with 20,000 for sure. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's it, Taylor. Those are good specs right there, especially for a tandem. Those are good specs. Great specs right there. Andreas, what are some red flags you look for when buying a used dump truck? Obviously, any leaks. Any leaks. From front compartment to back, any leaks are going to get my attention. I'm going to take that truck, I'm going to drive it away from there somewhere, and I'm going to let it sit, and I'm going to check the oil, and I'm going to see what the oil looks like. I'm going to have a mechanic with me, too. So these are kind of prerequisites. I'm going to have a mechanic with me. We're going to go drive it together, and then we're going to pull over somewhere, and we're going to check the oil. I like to check off-site away from the salesman. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear in a lot of cases. So I want to know what I don't know. So I bring the mechanic with me. But we're going to definitely do engine compartment, belts, but more important with that engine, all what it looks like. How's it running? Does it sound like it's running? Make sure there are no misses, no bad injectors, things of that nature. I'm gonna check for brakes and drums. A lot of times you look at a truck, you don't check for brakes and drums, but you could come in spending $2,000 on brakes and drums if you're not careful. So I'm looking at the braking system, brakes, drums, slack adjusters. I'm looking at the frame rails, as what Jack was talking about, frame rails and stuff. Somebody's talking about frame rail up under there. See, is there any cracks in the frame? Those are indicators that truck may have some future problems. So I don't want to see no cracks in the frame. The bed, I don't want no bed that's got holes in it. Rear end leaks, cracks on the rear end loose drive line. You have to get up under there, or that mechanic has to move that drive line, shake that drive line, see if you got some bad joints and things of that nature, or swing bearings. Obviously, you don't want to be buying tires coming in, so check your tires. Leaf springs on the front and back. Make sure you ain't got no cracked leaf springs. All those are things I'm looking for. You lift the bed up, let the bed go up, make sure it's dumping and opening the tailgate, opening and closing properly. All of that good stuff. Those are just some things off the top of my head right there. And then, of course, I got a couple of videos on that as well. Right, just a smaller engine than my okay. Blaze, what's up? Out of sight, out of mind. What's going on? What's good? Hit the like, y'all. Some new ones coming in. Hit the like. Hit on this morning. Mr. Grant, we're wide open in the new ATL, aka Charlotte. That's what I'm talking about. Charlotte. Y'all see what he called it, right? The new ATL. That's what they call it. ATL South. Charlotte, North Carolina is definitely one of those other North Carolina. We were talking about Raleigh earlier, but Charlotte is definitely one of those other booming areas, man. Congratulations on that. 52 on a tandem in Illinois. Uh, no quads are allowed here in Illinois, including superdomes. Wow. So Taylor, in Illinois, you got Illinois, right? The biggest you can go is a triaxle. Wow. Blaze says, at what point would you consider quitting your day job? I manage my 3 trucks, PM them myself, do payroll, etc. And I also work shift work in a refinery as an operator for the past 6 years. Yeah, Blaze, that's up, man. I know a couple other guys got that dilemma. They in the plant making good money, but they got them trucks. And so at one point, do you leave a good paying job and go all in with your business? I would say, see, well, let me give my experience first, and then I'll tell you what I think. Um, for me, I left the concrete plant and just was all in, right? So that's my experience. I didn't, bomb and then manage it like that. So I was all in from the beginning. But I do get this question often because I know guys are leaving the stability of what they know they got coming to go over here and to work into something and build it. What I would do, Blaze, first of all, in a situation like that, until I can feel my way, I would be on one of them trucks. That's the first thing I do. If I'm gonna leave and do that, I would start off being on one of the trucks. Here's why I say that. Because then that truck takes care of your house, your bills, your personal bills, right? Because you're going to pay yourself. I'm sure you're paying yourself first. You should be. That's just a business golden rule as an entrepreneur. But definitely I would look at what I got to have to pay my personal bills. And then I'm going to drive one of those trucks and I'm going to pay myself like that starting out. That's what I'm going to do. Because what you don't want to do is be a shock to the business by suddenly the business got to totally take care of you. You want to ease into that thing. You want to ease into it, right? And you ease into it by, okay, this is what I got to have to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to run a tight budget in the meantime for 3 months just to see how this is going to work like that. Put myself on that salary, drive one of the trucks myself for 3 months. Give the business a chance to level out, and you can then see, okay, wow, for 3 months, okay, this is cool. Then after 3 months, you can determine at that point, okay, can I afford to raise myself up more? Um, because I know when you're making plant money, it's a certain amount of money. All right, but you want to start off at the minimum to not shock the business. So ease into it, and then you can gradually increase beyond that. Now, what you also can factor in after this 3-month period is at this point, if you're trying to come off the truck, can I pay a guy and still pay myself the money that I was paying myself when I was on the truck? All right. So those are some intangibles. All right. Let me go another way with it. This is a great question. To answer this question, because I first came off the truck when I had 3 trucks. So that's a real pivotal point. When you got 3, I know 3 can take care, can provide for you to manage and still have 3 people on the trucks. It can do it at 3. It did it for me over 20 something years ago. My daughter was being born. I started in 2000. My daughter was born in 2004. I came off the truck when the time she was born, stayed off the truck. I know over a year and something, and didn't miss a beat. Didn't have any problem. So that's what I would do as well. And so at that point, if 3 months you can pay yourself, pay your bills while you're on the truck, then you determine, okay, what I'm gonna have to pay for a guy to drive the truck. Can I not also pay this guy to drive the truck and pay my bills? So now you're weighing the facts, you're looking at the numbers, right? Right. And so I don't know what your plan is. Do you want to drive or do you want to manage at this point? Me, when I had 3, that was after a while my daughter was born, I went back on the truck because I still had diesel in my veins. I still was loving it being out there every day, right? So I got back on the truck. So, but it does reach a point where it's too, because see, I see all that you're doing. It's going to be, I did all that for 10, 12, 13 years. Payroll, driving the truck, all the paperwork, and it wears you out. So if you ain't trying to do that and you trying to come off, then it's just going to be simply after you've on it, then you see, okay, I got to pay this guy. I got enough to pay myself. Then you weigh the facts on those numbers. If you can do that, and numbers are there, then your biggest concern is answered, because our concern is always is when you're trying to come off the truck. Go all in, is how I'm gonna pay my bills. And if you can see your light in that, then that's your cue right there if you're ready to do that. So that was a long answer, but I definitely need to take a little time with that one, because that's a great question. I hope I answered that, Blaze. Let me know. All right, let me scroll back up. Too rare. Do you have any trucks in yard that we can see? I do. I'm on this computer. Too rare. I'm on this computer. Before I sign off, I might throw the computer out there and let you see that. So I don't know. I'm on my laptop, so I don't know if I can make it work today. But if you go, I'll tell you what, just go to my channel and you'll see plenty of with the trucks. And I think I got some videos I'm releasing today too. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it with this laptop. Jack, people move from ATL to Charlotte. That's what I hear, Jack. People move from Atlanta to Charlotte in droves. Taylor, yep, since we are a federal bridge, Taylor. Okay, cool. No tri-axle. Okay, no tri-axle either. Okay, I thought you were saying quad. No quad. No tri-axle either. Eob say, Eob say, keep your job. Taylor, no quads. Okay, gotcha. Eob, do keep your job, especially if you finance your trucks. All right, so I always love opposite perspectives. Eob, why do you say keep your job if you finance your trucks? What does and I'm assuming that the financing piece plays a part in your answer. So give us that. I love certainly other opinions. Tri-axles are the biggest that we can go in Illinois, Missouri. We will allow 26 on 10 on quad. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's on the downfall. Be on a 2-state board. You right there. Each got different bridge law. Wow, that's a unique perspective right there. Thank you, Country. Can you talk about dispatchers that own a dispatch dump truck and how to find them, as if you can talk about how you do payroll? Well, dispatchers typically, and see, here's the difference in Louisiana and a lot of states. We got a few brokers here, but as brokers is not a huge thing. Most of the road construction and building companies, they got truck foremen and or dispatchers that call and look for hire trucks. We only have a handful of brokers around here that broker trucks. All right, so it's a little different for us. We typically go through the company itself. And payroll, pretty much, I don't know if you guys might can see this. See, this is my daily truck report, right? I don't want that guy's name, but I ain't got no personal information. All right, so this is like one of my trucks, right? Truck 633, that's the driver. All right, and so I created this form myself, and I think this is in my bundle, my paperwork form. And you can see how this form is made. See that date on the left? The date. I'm trying to get it where y'all can see it. And this is a form I created myself. Y'all can see the hours. Now, this guy did some night work as well. All right, so that's this, and I showed that because the guy was asking me about payroll. So we start with this. Guys have these in their trucks. It's their responsibility to document the hours every day, right? So at the end of the week, I got 4 of them in. The other one's probably in the trucks. I got these. So what's going to happen is my secretary is going to come in on Monday. She's going to grab that, right? And then she's going to first of all, get the total of what we did with every company. Then she'll break it down for each individual driver as to what the payroll is. Take out state, take out federal. We do all that here in the office. She does all that. Take out state, take out federal, take out your FICA, and figure out what that payroll is. She'll text it to me to make sure everybody's good. I'll sign off on it. And then basically I cut checks myself. Kind of how it goes. To rail, I'm running 8 trucks right now. I am in the same situation. It takes time to snowball your return on your investment. The business can't afford to take care of itself, and you in the first few years. That's the key. That's one of the keys. Thank you, brother. That is true. You have to have a maturity. I call it have a maturity. Your business has to mature to the point to where it can afford to carry you. But that's why I told him, because I'm thinking Blaze, and I've seen the brother. He's local here in Louisiana. I'm thinking it depends on whether or not he want to get on a truck or not, or he just want to manage. He's in the plant, so that's why I gave that scenario that if he want to get on the truck, well, that solves the problem right there as far as the business being able to handle it, because the business got to pay somebody anyway, right, to drive that truck. So that's the easy route, so it's not a shock to the business. Now I do know some guys that want to come off their job but not get on the truck. Well, you're going to now be drawing income directly from the business. And you're definitely right, Eyob. Is the business at a point to where it can give you that kind of money to pay your bills and pay for 3 drivers? In his case, 3 trucks, 3 drivers. Eyob, in fact, I think Eyob said he's got his 3rd truck, so he's at that point. Great point, Eyob. So I think, Blaze, it depends on which route you're going. Are you trying to get on the truck, or are you trying to lead a job and manage? That's what you're going to have to decide first. My viewpoint, I would get on the truck. That way you make for a transition much smoother that way. Okay, I see your comment. I'm coming to you. Hello, Pastor. Sorry, I got cut off. I watched your video. Okay, cool, Richard. Appreciate it. Andreas, how did you diversify outside of truck, if you don't mind sharing? Outside of trucking, real estate, I got into real estate, some houses. I got some houses on foreclosure or for sale, renovate, rent out, create other income. Stocks, I'm heavily invested in stocks and mutual funds, right on the Robinhood app myself. So I've taken money and invested in that long-term things that they're going to bring me money. Sharing my experience with you guys, consulting, coaching, that kind of thing. Think about what your experience in life is, Andreas, and what you offer that's unique to you. What's your experiences in life that other people would want to know about that they haven't had that experience? People will be glad to compensate for that, right? Obviously, I'm a pastor as well, so that's a part of what I do. So that's the key, is just always constant. I was just talking to a cousin of mine the other day. He has 2 trucks. I say, cousin, what you got to do. And really the principle is true, I think, in a lot of business, in any business to some extent. Use the profit to not just to invest in something else that can provide a return, right? That's really what it is. Mine just so happens to be real estate, stocks, that kind of thing. And I'm looking at some other things. I'm looking to add another form of business. Well, let me just put it this way. One of the things, and I got this from J.G. Cruz, shout out J.G. Cruz out of New Jersey, when him and I and Lane Construction out of Maryland were at Truck and Hustle last September. We were off to ourselves, just kind of running and trying. This is why you got to surround yourself with people that are doing what you do and are doing what you desire to do. And JG said something so profound. He said, yeah, man, one of the other ways that you can diversify is to provide some other type of service to the other guys in the business that you're in. It caught my attention. And so what he does, to tell you about what JG does, is he actually in New Jersey, because most of the contractors pay every 45 to 90 days. JG runs a factoring business for the dump truckers in New Jersey, right? You guys know about road trucking and factoring. That gets you your money sooner. You don't have to wait the whole while on your money. So he provides a service for a small fee. So what has that done? That's created passive income. Well, that got me to thinking, what can I do in South Louisiana that can also provide a service to the other truckers and dump truckers in my particular area? All right. To be continued is coming real soon. I can't give it away just yet, but you got the point, right? That look around. What else can you do? That's a part of my diversification, not just in other businesses, but providing some kind of support services to other dump truckers that they may not have access to or can't afford to do, that can help them greatly, that can save them some money. And guess what? I make a little small piece of change off of it. You know what I mean? Diversification. So you diversify. Watch this. This is what JG said. That brother, bless my soul, man. He said, brothers, diversify within the business first. Then you diversify it out. See, I had diversified out. He said diversify in the business. I was like, oh my God. I had to grab my head, man. Like, oh wow. Never thought of that. Diversify. In other words, do other things. B2B business. B2B business means business to business. And so here was the question. What can you do as a business to provide a service to other businesses in the business that y'all in? Right? Oh my God. My mind just started going on overload thinking about the different things. What are the needs that we need in the dump truck business that other guys may not can't do individually? But since God has given me such great favor and I'm in a position and I know people, what can I do to help the others to be successful in their businesses? And I'll just make just a little teeny bit of change off of it. And they still saving money to where they're already spending money. They can save it and they happy too. I got my idea already, getting ready to move on it next month. Stay tuned. This month, March. Stay tuned. Diversify in the business. Yeah, Jack, that is next level game right there. Y'all have got this is the look. I've been off at 30 minutes. It's 52 minutes. Y'all took me there. That's game upon game. Surrounding yourself with the right people. I never would have thought of that. I don't think I knew that just from being around two other brothers that are doing it great things in the dump truck business across this country. Y'all got it for free right here on a Saturday morning. All right. Who else? Great question, Andreas. Great question, brother. Richard says church and insurance. Yours is double. Who did you find? If you don't mind, I'm currently have progressive. I'm in Houston, Texas. Richard, email me rather here. I'm going to give you my guy. My guy's name. I just don't like to put it all the way on blast. He's out of Mississippi. I'm in Louisiana. The brother has hooked me up. And that's who I ended up going with. And I think I told you guys last Saturday, let me say it again. My goal this year, one of my biggest goals in my business, I got enough customers. I've reached my goal. I got a couple other goals to add a DBE project, little things like that. But bigger than that goal this year for me is how do I reduce my expenses? Because in construction, and particularly in the trucking business, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? So my number one, how do I get this doggone insurance for cheaper, right? I did that video the other day, right? Researched, started early, and by golly, I have been able to save my company 3 to 4. I hadn't done the final numbers; they coming but I know off the top of my head, I saw a glimpse of them. 3 to 4,000 a month times 12, $36,000 a year. I've saved my business in insurance this year, going back into my business as profit for 2023. All right, 2024. All right, so Richard, here's the email. Email me and I'll give you my guy's name and number. You tell him I sent you. Anybody else need that information? I'll be glad. Email me. I'll send it to you. Okay, Blaze is 30. I have a long way to go. I may continue to manage the business and work my job until I see it being a problem to manage the truck. Thanks again. Yeah, I mean, if it's not causing you no problem, I thought you may have just wanted to come off. But if you managing it and that's no problem, hey, go for it, brother. Now, what you can do, Blaze, is this. You can do something similar to what I done. I cousin, Um, was at home not doing anything, just looking for something to do. I hired her for 4 days a week for 5 hours a day to come and take care of my stuff. So Blaze, what you might can do to take the heaviness of that off. Maybe it's a family member that you can get in to come in 2 days a week that you can pay $150, $200 a week to just handle your payroll or your bills that you can trust. Of course, I can trust her, and you can relieve yourself of that, and maybe you can concentrate on another aspect of your business. What I had to do, I had to get this girl, my cousin, to do that for me, to free my mind up so I can think about strategy, moving it, and flow in what I want to be doing every day, business wise and ministry wise. So that's why I had to do that. So that's something to think about as well. Yeah, for sure, Taylor. I don't know what his percentage was, but man, look, they are the dump truck brethren are happy up in New Jersey that he provides that service as opposed to waiting on their money 60, 90 days. Kind of like how Landstar pays weekly compared to other companies. Okay. Why you can buy and sell parts. Exactly, too real. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking, too real. Exactly. That ain't the one I'm finna do first. But that one's on the radar, brother. Oh, come on, baby. Get tire truck with repairman. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. That's my oil change guys made. Hold on. I thought I heard something. You ready to get started? Which one you want first? Do that quad action first. And then the Volvo will be next. All right, and then the Western Star 112. All right, and the Gray Mac. That's that. All right. Look, come on around here. I want you to. I'm live on YouTube. This is the young man. How old are you, baby?
21.
21 years old. He decent mechanic school, interning at the Kenworth dealership, and local young man. I'm proud of him. Been knowing him a long time, and this young man is gonna be doing 4 oil changes for me today. So don't forget to sow into your young people that got the ability to do some of this work. All right, tell the people, hey, baby.
Hey,
All right, I just wanted y'all to see him. All right, and everything's in the shop. Everything's in the shop. The filter kits and the oil.
okay.
All right, I'll be out there in a minute. Okay. All right, good people. So look, we're gonna see can we get ready to land this plane. Um, I am so very proud of him, man. I've been knowing that kid since, oh my goodness, probably was 5, 6 years old, and went to the local Votech. He's interning at Kenworth now, working there every day. And shoot, what better? We from right here from my hometown. Stay here. So what better person? Let him shoot, man. Look, I'm blessing him. He blessing me, and we sowing into our young people. We can't ever go wrong sowing into our young people. All right, let me go back up. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Tire truck with repair. I got a tire man out here now, doing tires. But what if I had somebody that knew what they was doing, and I put tire truck together, and then now I could do it. We could do it for myself, and then also for other people. It's just thinking outside the box, y'all. That's it. All right, like-minded individuals do bounce ideas. Exit, Taylor, you gotta. That's the right. You hear people say this all the time, y'all, and it is true. You gotta get in the room with the right people. You gotta get in the because when you get in rooms with the right people, don't get me wrong. You gotta maintain your character and keep integrity, but do what you have to do to get in the right rooms, y'all. It will bless your life. And you, man, look, a lot of stuff will be taught, but you'll catch a lot of stuff. Man, we just in general conversation, and I caught that stuff. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know what made that brother even start talking about that because we weren't talking about that. He dropped that nugget. I was like, oh my God. And he's finna bless me and bless my business is getting blessed because in the right room. Right? Shout out to Raw Mel Wiley with Truck and Hustle. I think I was telling y'all last time, whenever they hit Dallas, I'm going to the Dallas one. They're going to California first, but I'm going to the Dallas one. Getting in the right room, y'all, with the right people. I got a couple of people here locally. I got to get in the room with them because they are the right kind of people I need to be around. Oh, Jack say next CEO will be insuring dump truck. Jack, brother, Jack, if you only knew the conversations I've had about that insurance issue. Ooh, I can say so much more right now. I need to hold it though. Ooh, Jack, let me move on. Okay. E-Yob, I am working on providing accounting services to dump truckers. I see this problem. Yeah, okay. Definitely. Just a diversification strategy. Exactly, E-Yob. Provide a service, B2B. I decided, what do you do for your drivers in slow season, rainy days? I see top company give guaranteed 10 hours a week. What did I do? I think, man, honestly, during our slow week, they actually made. I think we had 1 week that was looked like everybody we wasn't finna do much. But here's what I would do if we had one of those kind of ways. I just give everybody $300, and that's actually more. That's about that equivalent to about 10 to about 12, about 13 to 15 hours. So I guess you could say I do something similar. If it's a slow week and it's a 0 week, like I say, that doesn't happen here often. Typically, guys are gonna get 1 or 2 days during that time. Those two slow weeks, what I would call right there at the end of it was the first and second week of January, I think I'll say, was super slow. But we did do something, but I'm gonna always give something. So yeah, that's a good benchmark there. Thank you. Appreciate you, Richard. Yes. Jack said we got yeah, this has been a great session, Jack. Man, look, it just happens. It looked like it just flows that way, man. Oh God, it just flows that way. So look, guys, I'm gonna try to land the plane. It's 11 o'clock. I need to try to catch the bank. I'm gonna get this young man lined up where everything is, all and everything, so he knows got what he needs. And I got to take a truck out to the mechanic house. He got to do a set of brakes, and then I got to run to a parts store that's about 45 minutes away and pick up the brakes. And so I got a little rip and running to do before I have a 2 o'clock haircut. All right, guys. So y'all be good. Again, for those don't know, books and everything, I am countryceo.com. I'm gonna put this website up here for those of you who want to visit that. Those of you who don't know, we're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, consulting courses. Got some surprises coming up here real soon. So stay tuned. I am going to be doing more lives because I realize the need even more so for that engagement, for you guys to be able to engage with me live. And I'm excited about that as well. So we got some new things coming up. Stay tuned. Keep sharing. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you, Jack, for being a channel member, tuning in this morning. Y'all be breezy. Cut the CEO. We out of here. We gone.